Hey everybody, Dan with Pain For You. This one also came about through some conversations or topics on Facebook. And there's a lot of people who are wondering, like, okay, if I'm supposed to go relive my life and start living my life, what about exercise? And how does that work? And what's the difference between, pain increasing from the exercise, from normal, post-workout soreness versus TMS, and how do I tell the difference, and how do I approach exercise without causing major flare-ups? So it's a very common question, very common, I'll say problem, but it's not really a problem. It's just really understanding the mechanisms at play here. So many people are trying to say, well, I want to regain mobility. I want to start exercising because prior to this pain I used to exercise a lot and I used to feel good. And so there's a couple of schools of thought out there. There's a couple of one school of thought is just go out and do it even if it hurts. Just push through it, right? I'm not a huge fan of that, because if you go out and you push through it and say, I'm going to exercise even if it hurts, remember, danger, pain up, safety, pain down. And so if you're going to do that, it depends upon your mindset as to whether or not that type of a strategy is going to work or if it's going to make things worse, right? Dr. Sarno was very clear. Resume physical activity when the pain has come down enough so that you can do so. And I believe my interpretation was, if you jump back into it too quickly or too intensely, you can set yourself back. Why? Because you're going to scare yourself into thinking, oh my God, I did too much, or oh no, that movement or that exercise was bad, it must have been physical. And you can see how quickly, by jumping into movement too fast or too intensely and experiencing an increase in our physical sensations and pains and symptoms, that it can quickly throw you for a loop and your confidence can go out the window. So it's really important that if you do begin to move your body again, that you're doing it from a standpoint of love and, yeah, I know this is a good idea. I'm not afraid because, and here's the accurate knowledge again, because I know that my body's already fine. And even if the symptoms jump up, I'll know why. And it's not going to shake me. It's not going to throw me. And I'm not going to freak out if the symptoms go up. So it all depends upon your ability to reassure yourself. Look, I'm going to do some exercise tomorrow. I might go on a bike ride. I might go on a walk. And if the symptoms go up, I know why. It's because the brain is perceiving that, well, that might be dangerous. It's not really, but if the brain perceives it, then the symptoms may go up. So your ability to reassure yourself that you're not in danger is actually going to determine how long the symptoms going up as a result of exercise is going to last. And so, if you want to regain some mobility, start exercising, kind of check in with yourself and say, does that scare me? And if so, why? Right? And if the why is because I think I'm broken and there might be something physical and I might hurt myself or re-injure myself, then I'm going to tell you to go back to TMS 101. Foundational. What is TMS? Because if you still believe that you're broken physically and this exercise is going to hurt you physically, maybe because your body has gotten a little bit stagnant over the time you've been in pain. Many people say, I barely moved. I really haven't been very mobile. And therefore, when I go to regain my mobility and start moving again, I'm going to have real, true body stiffness and body problems because I haven't worked out in forever. And so, could there be a little bit of that? Absolutely. But guess what? If you start working out after not working out for a long time, you may feel some post-workout soreness. But that's not TMS, because that is only going to last a couple of days. If the pain turns on as a result of you starting to move again, and it stays, and it stays, and it stays, that's TMS. That's the fear-based, the danger signal-based pains that are coming about because your brain says, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You you might still have a problem. What are you doing that for? And anytime the brain perceives danger, it's going to turn up or keep the pain going. So, as it relates to starting to move again, to exercise again, exercise and fear, they kind of have to go hand in hand. If you're really confident that it's all TMS and I'm not afraid of it, and even if I get a spike in symptoms after working out, I don't care, and you can truly say that the fear level is very low, then by all means, move forward with that. If the fear level is super high, you're probably going to want to take some smaller baby steps, increasing the amount of steps you take each day, a little bit at a time, increasing your weights if you're doing any type of weight training or muscle building. If your fear level is high, take smaller and smaller baby steps. Why? So you don't trigger that fear into saying, oh my God, I did too much, right? But if your fear level is low and your confidence in TMS and your assessment and acceptance that, you know what, this is 100% TMS, my body is perfectly fine. How do I know that? Because I've had some pain-free days, so then there's no reason that I can't start to move my body again and exercise again. If your fear level is low, then feel free to move in a little bit. But if any of these scenarios, you start to move your body again and the symptoms come back or the pain comes back, don't freak out. Don't say, oh no, I did it to myself, I shouldn't have done that, because all you're doing is confirming the brain's fear that, oh my God, movement is dangerous, right? So, fear is high, very slow regaining of physical movement, or, starting to move your body again. If your fear is really low and your confidence is super high, then maybe you can go a little bit quicker. But in either case, if movement starts to trigger a flare-up or a resurgence of symptoms, the faster you go, aha, I know what's going on. The brain just perceived that movement as dangerous, so nothing to worry about. It's okay, I'm all right. Like I was teaching in yesterday's video, the faster you can soothe yourself and calm yourself down and calm your thinking and don't catastrophize the fact that, oh my God, I tried to work out and it didn't work and I got worse and I'm never going to be able to move again and my, tight body is never going to be flexible again. If you catastrophize, what are you doing? You're just putting more fear and anxiety into your future movements, in which case the next time you try it, you're going to have that much more fear. So all this stuff works together. Accurate knowledge, assessment, fear. It's a big deal when it comes to moving again. I feel like I got to sneeze. So it's really, really important to take your time if you're afraid, and to go slowly if you're afraid, and do everything you can to reassure yourselves that there's no reason to be afraid. It's just TMS, and I know it's TMS, and I'm confident in that. And even if the symptoms go up, so what? Don't care. Indifference. And then shift your focus back to, boy, that actually felt good to move my body. Even though I hurt, I'm still good. It still felt better to do that than to sit on the couch afraid of moving anything. And I've heard from a lot of people in the past several weeks that said, you know what, I got out, I took a longer walk than usual, and yeah, I did hurt, but you know what, because I had the right mindset, I didn't hurt as bad as I thought I might. And then when I got home, I sat down in the sun, relaxed, soothed myself, and I had such a feeling of accomplishment and pride in myself for doing that. Because for the first time I got up off the couch, first time in a long while, and actually said, screw it, I'm going to move, and I'm not afraid. And the more you can say, I'm going to do this, regardless of what the outcome is, and be perfectly okay with the fact that your symptoms may jump. And if they do, that's okay. You know why? Because that's proof it's TMS. It's not proof you're broken structurally, it's proof it's TMS. So, I hope you understand that as you're looking at exercise or movement, resuming physical activity, it's a good idea to kind of check your fear level on this, because if it's really high, I still encourage you to start to move again, but take it a little bit slower. If your fear level is gone and you really are 100% confident in this, then you could probably go a little bit quicker. So, love you guys and gals. Hopefully this really addressed the question of, how do I start to resume physical activity? How do I start to exercise again? It all depends. There's no one recipe. It's really up to you and where your fear levels are. And hopefully this really gives you some clarity, because in either case, whether you got to start slow and build confidence over time, or kind of jump into it a little bit quicker because your fear is already down because you've completely bought into the TMS diagnosis and assessment and acceptance, everybody can start to move again. And I have so many positive comments from people that are literally taking their lives back, doing things that they haven't done in years. They're very surprised pleasantly how quickly they're able to do these things once they really grasp the concepts. Indifference is huge, that mindset. So the mindset of indifference as it relates to exercise and movement is key, because if the symptoms go up and you really don't care, how much fear is there? Not much. So if this was useful for you, comment below. Let me know what you think. If you found this useful, share it. If you're not a YouTube subscriber, go to YouTube, hit the red subscribe button. If you're not in the Pain For You group, look for that on Facebook and join. We'd love to have you. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you.